Hello once again, and thank you for joining us on Classic Vinyl Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Justin, and I'm here with my other host, Tyler.
There we go. Here I am.
Yeah, and of course, last week we did side 1 of Led Zeppelin III, and we're back again to do side 2 of Led Zeppelin III. So,
Yeah. Well, real quick, I still think that the album title is I.
it should be. Do you want to get to side 2?
Yeah.
Side 2.
Okay, so side 2 opens up with Gallows Pole. This is a traditional song arranged by Jimmy Page and Robert Plant that was based on a song called Gallows Pole, Gallis, from Leadbelly. It's funny because we keep getting into this, but Jimmy Page really likes to borrow stuff, traditional songs, and rearrange them, but I don't know. It is what it is, but
He's a scrapbooker. The guy likes to cut out things from magazines and put them in his own little book.
yeah, well, he does well at it either way. So they also adapted this song from a version of this from an American folk musician named Fred Gartak that released this in 1962. Now, the so interesting thing about this song is it features both the mandolin and a banjo, and this is the only Led Zeppelin song in their catalog to feature a banjo.
So that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun. So the lyrics are about a man trying to delay his hanging. He's going to be hanged for some reason until his friends and family can come and rescue him. And there's a lot of versions of this song, but Led Zeppelin's is unusual in that it ends with the hangman hanging the protagonist, despite all of his bribes trying to get out of it, right?
Oh, dude.
He never survives, but most other versions end with him, being set free.
Well, and it's notable that as his bribes include bringing his sister around to yin with the hangman.
Yeah. So the sister actually sleeps with him, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't even help.
I know. Like, what kind of a dick hangman is this? Oh, I'll let you sleep with my sister. Fine. Bangs the sister, hangs him anyway.
Yeah. Right. Well, all I can say is she must not have been very good.
I guess.
So Jimmy Page has stated multiple times this is his favorite song off of this album. And, it's kind of a weird because like another song on side 1, as the story progresses, this song begins to speed up.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts of Gallows Pole?
This song reminds me of a Johnny Cash song that's of a similar one, and then it was redone by Pearl Jam called 25 Minutes to Go. And it's basically the song of this guy who's on death row. They're building the gallows and they're going to string him up. And he's just giving you the minute by minute play by play of what he's doing.
But he didn't bring his sister in.
No, his sister wasn't involved in it. I don't know that his family was there. I don't think so. But the governor wouldn't pardon him. The sheriff was really eager to watch him die, and they spits at him. But anyway, this song is reminiscent of that. It's of the first person view of somebody who's about to be hung, who's desperately trying anyway to delay that. Like, oh wait, I want my family to be here so I can say goodbye to them. My sister's kind of cute. Yeah, you can have whatever you want, man. Just don't string me up. And okay, I'll have your sister. Hang you anyway. Fun song. And this one is where we get into a lot of like this, what kind of hillbilly, folksy kind of country rock sort of stuff.
Yeah, I don't really consider it country rock, but I do get the folky acoustic sound. That's what it makes me feel like more.
Yeah, and it's probably just the banjo. So
Yeah, that could be.
what are your thoughts on this one?
This song starts off soft with the mandolin and the banjo, which I think is really good. I think unlike some of the other songs, well, mainly the first couple, but the vocal from Robert Plant fits in really well with this. You can understand what he's saying. It doesn't scrape at you. After about 1 minute, though, this song's kind of slow to start, and after about 1 minute, it starts picking up, and it gets faster and faster. The drums and the bass kick in after about 2 minutes. It's a pretty good song, even without any electric guitar present, except you do get electric guitar at the very end, which I like. I wish they would use that throughout, but that's probably the only thing I have to say with it. I wish that guitar that's at the end, I really liked the tone of it. It would have been good to have that throughout the song. But it's a decent song and a good way to start off side 2.
Yeah.
The second song on side 2 is Fruit, Tangerine.
Yeah.
So Tangerine was written by Jimmy Page, and although there is some dispute who wrote the lyrics because it was composed with Keith Relf 2 years earlier when Jimmy Page was with the Yardbirds, Page states he changed the lyrics from the original, but there's a question there. And let's be honest, it's kind of a going theme that Page likes to kind of steal stuff. So, I don't know if I'm on his side on this one, but the Yardbirds with Jimmy Page recorded an early version of this song 2 years prior. The title was different. It was called Knowing That I'm Losing You. That version was not released until 2017, and it did not have the Keith Relf vocal on it, even though he had recorded originally. So it's kind of hard to say if the lyrics were stolen or not. But this is the only track on the album that the lyrics were not written by Robert Plant, and the last Led Zeppelin song that Page wrote without any input from Plant at all. The mandolin is also used on this song, along with Page adding in a pedal steel guitar fills, which I really enjoy in this song. This song's been used in a lot of movies. Probably one of the most popular movies I can think of it was used in was the ending of the 2000 movie Almost Famous, which is an excellent movie. Have you seen that?
I have. Well, yeah, and I remember this song from the end. It's got a feel about it that's really intense and poignant.
Yeah, reminiscing of something, but yeah, and this is the second song Led Zeppelin has named after a fruit. They do have the lemon song. So what is your thought on the song Tangerine?
This is a nice, peaceful, relaxing song. You're right, that pedal steel guitar does give it this kind of country style feel to it. So the opening of it's a little strange. You start off with this strumming guitar, and then the music stops.
Well, it's got a false start.
It's a false start,
yeah,
right?
It's got a false start. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he counts in, and it starts the guitar again, and then the song gets going. It fits. I think that this song is extremely well done, and I think it's well done to be used so much in pop culture and movies.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why they left the false start in, because it does seem like a studio mistake, but they decided that's got to be part of the song.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what it really adds, but okay, I'll go with it. What are your thoughts about Tangerine?
I really enjoy this song. I think the false start's the worst part about the song. It just seems like a mistake, and sometimes mistakes fit well. This one doesn't. It just seems like, why did we leave it there?
This one should have made it to the cutting room floor.
Yeah, that's the only critical thing I have to say about this song, because I really enjoy this. I think the vocal from Robert Plant on this one is really good. It's a very mellow song. It has really good bass, really good guitar, really good mandolin, and they're mixed together really well for a very thick sound, but it's calm too and gives you that reminiscing. I don't even know how to explain it, but and maybe it makes me reminisce because I've heard it in movies and things, but yeah, it's got a good guitar solo on the steel guitar. I think this is an excellent song. It's one of my favorites on the album.
What is that feeling that it gives it? Is it nostalgia?
I guess. Yeah, I guess it gives you a feeling of nostalgia, but this is like a peaceful, happy nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's a feeling that it brings out that's really intense and really it's really useful, I think.
Yeah. I agree. So that moves us on to the next song. That's The Way. This one was written by Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. This is another song they wrote while on their vacation retreat in Wales. It was originally titled The Boy Next Door. The lyrics really seem to be about a boy's parents being against a friendship this boy has with another boy, because this other boy's got long hair and he's from the wrong side of town. And Led Zeppelin's also said in interviews this might have a lot to do with the way they were treated when they first come to America, because they were rockers with really long hair and people thought they looked like women, and they weren't treated very well by a lot of people. So
I can see this song being a gay anthem as well, because it's kind of got this thing in your head that's like, is this me and Julio down by the schoolyard sort of thing?
Yeah, I could see that. But I mean, I think that's your feeling in any song, right? You can take your meaning out of it, because
where you got a boy singing about another boy.
Yeah, because Robert Plant also said the lyrics reflect his views on ecology and the environment. So that's a whole different direction. So
exactly. And that fits too, because at the end he's got seeing this boy kiss a flower and the flower wilts or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing this song does feature at the end of the song is a dulcimer, which is kind of a stringed instrument. It kind of looks like a mini guitar, but John Paul Jones also plays the mandolin on this one. What are your thoughts on That's the Way?
It's got another strumming guitar open, and I like these strumming guitar opens. sets a nice beat and rhythm that's really fun. But there's also this exotic element in this song that comes with the mandolin and the dulcimer. And I really like that. It seems really cute and down home, but then it adds that to it. And it's just kind of like, okay, you got this kid who's my friend that's got long hair from the other side of town, maybe the more seedy side of town, sure. But there's something exotic and strange and different about that. He's from a whole nother world from me, right? And I can understand that whole fascination. Hearing Robert Plant sing about this, it conveys this message very well, and I like that there's so much symbolism in this. I like that it can be taken very literally, but it's also very much like something that can be so symbolic and metaphorical. So it was a fun song, but that being said, it was just kind of a bland sounding song. It didn't. I guess that's what you get for spending your holiday in a little cottage in Wales, just eating fish and chips or potatoes or something. It just really bland. It didn't have a whole lot of spice to it. What are your thoughts on this one?
I think we disagree on this whole album because I don't find this song bland at all. This gives me a reminiscing feeling just like Tangerine. But like you, I do really like the acoustic opening. It's another one that I really like Robert Plant's vocals on. I think his vocals on the softer songs really lend to his vocal style and sound better. It's got good little slight guitar fills that are kind of echoey that I like. The acoustic, the electric, and the mandolin fit so well together in this song. And there's not really any noticeable bass in this song until about 1 minute left in the song, and then it comes in. And the one thing this song does lack, there is no drumming in this song at all. And it's kind of interesting because it's mixed so well and so thick with all the sounds of, you've basically got an electric guitar, an acoustic guitar, and a mandolin, and it's all mixed together. I don't know how many times they're layered on top of each other, but it gives a pretty nice thick sound. And I really don't find this song bland at all. I find this one of my favorites on this album.
Maybe it's the lack of drums that makes it feel bland to me.
It could do, but this one kind of gives me the same feeling as Tangerine, and those are two good songs back to back for me. So that moves us on to the second to last song on this album, Bron Iar Stomp, or however you say it in Welsh.
Bron Iar Stomp.
Bron Iar. So this one was written by Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and John Paul Jones. And although it's misspelled, because it's misspelled a little bit different.
It's missing an R.
Yes. It takes its name from the small house that they stayed during their holiday in Wales in 1970, where they wrote much of this album. There's also a song called Bron Iar, which has the R, the YR in the middle, which is what it's actually supposed to be called, but it's a 2-minute instrumental on their Physical Graffiti album. It's kind of interesting. But this is another song that was heavily influenced, maybe stolen.
Yeah, it was klept.
Yeah, a song by Bert Jansch called Wagoner's Lad. It seems to be kind of a going theme in all our Led Zeppelin albums, is that something was lifted or inspired by, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Robert Plant apparently wrote this song for his dog, and his dog's name was Strider, who was the inspiration for this song. And after Aragorn from The Lord of the Rings, since one of his aliases is Strider. I didn't know that, but I read about that. So I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
I remember like a couple of people called him Strider.
Really?
Like a nickname in the movie.
I do know Robert Plant was obsessed with Lord of the Rings. There are several Led Zeppelin songs with references to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So this song features some strange instruments played by John Bonham, along with drums, castanets, and the kitchen utensils, spoons.
Now, this is hillbilly music.
This is hillbilly music. So why don't you tell me what you think about Bron Iar Stomp?
Bron Iar Stomp is the drums are thumping, and this is a very appropriate name. This is a stomping song. This is total hillbilly music. This is a hoedown or a shindig or some sort of, music of the people of the hills. This song is going to be some people's favorite song on this album, and others are absolutely going to hate it. I don't think there's a whole lot of in between, because this song it really sticks out. There's no other song on this album that's that kind of down home bluegrass almost. It's that intense. This song's not one of my favorites, but it's a thumping song. And the guy loves his dog. What can I say? He named it Strider, and he's just having a great time with his dog out being a dog in the countryside of Wales. What do you think about this one?
I don't know if you've ever seen the Andy Griffiths show and the Darlings on there. They play jug band music, and this is, to me, if
Jug band. That's the word.
if they were a rock and roll jug band group, this would be the song. I think it has an amazing acoustic intro with some amazing finger work on it. The bass is okay in it too. Once the drums kick in, it just has that stomping jug band feeling all the way around. Jug band, rock and roll, not really my thing. This isn't one of my favorite songs, and you said some people really like it and some wouldn't. I don't know. This just isn't good for me. So, is what it is. That's all I've really got to say about it.
We know what camp Justin's in.
Yeah. So that brings us to the very last song on Led Zeppelin III, Hats Off to Roy Harper. Now, this is another traditional song, so lifted or borrowed. Roy Harper, interesting thing about him is he was a folk singer from England who Jimmy Page met in 1970. But one interesting fact about Roy Harper, he's the one that sings lead on Pink Floyd's hit song, Have a Cigar.
Oh.
Many people don't know that. They think it was Pink Floyd singing, but no, it is Roy Harper. He was friends with the band, and they asked him to sing because Roger Waters' voice was shot. And this song is obviously a tribute to Roy Harper. Funny story about that is Jimmy Page has said Roy Harper didn't even know Led Zeppelin made the song until he picked up a copy of the album in their office, and Jimmy Page had to tell him like 3 or 4 times, look at the song titles, until he finally noticed that, oh, hey, one of those song titles has my name in it. And
Roy Harper, this is written about a guy that's got the same name as me.
Now, yeah, this is a song Led Zeppelin never played live, I assume, just because they didn't want to run off the audience. But what are your thoughts on it?
Jimmy Page, man. You meet a guy once and steal his catalog. Okay. I don't know what to say about that, but this song, it's got an interesting sound to it. This song sounds like it might have been played backwards. Like, I don't think it was sung backwards, but the way that the instruments are like kind of bending and twisting.
I don't think they are, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
It's almost like he's got loose guitar strings or something in there. I don't know. To me, this is a continuation for the previous song in a way.
Yeah, for sure. And this one's just, it's strange. It's kind of a fun little song. Way to give a tribute to Roy Harper. It's not very memorable. This is a song that I've never heard before. I think the only 2 songs I've heard before are the Immigrant Song and then Tangerine.
Yeah.
The rest of these songs are all brand new. This is a song that it's not going to be memorable for me. I appreciate the weird sound. It's not going to stick with me. It didn't really grab me. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think you know what I think. This is a continuation of hillbilly music from before. It had the strange beginning with really weird sounding vocals and kind of the hillbilly style of guitar. It was played well, but just not my thing. It's a song I certainly skip and don't visit often. I think this is a poor ending, in my opinion, a poor ending to the album with these 2 songs. Do you want to get to winners and losers?
Yeah, I think we need to.
Winners and losers.
Okay, Tyler. So on this album, Led Zeppelin III, what would you say your 2 or 3 least favorite songs on this album are?
So my least favorites, I'm going to go with that Braun Ear Stomp. That one just stuck out on this album like a sore thumb. Also, Out on the Tiles, that one, it's a weak song. It's a good story, but it's not great work, so I didn't really like it. I'll go with those 2. I don't know that I need to throw a third one in here, but what are your...
I'll throw 3 in for you.
Thank you.
So, Braun Ear Stomp, definitely a loser. Hats Off to Roy Harper, definitely a loser. I think those 2 songs end the album very poorly. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, if you were listening to the first episode, Immigrant Song, I think starts the album off poorly. I hate that song. I've never enjoyed that song. I'm sorry. It's just not a Led Zeppelin song to me. It's not a good song. Those are my 3 losers.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me your favorite 2 or 3 songs on this?
Well, I'll add to that. Third one is Hats Off to Roy Harper, because for the same reasons that you just said.
Okay.
So I agree with you.
So you want to have 3 of them? Okay.
Yeah, that'll be my third. My favorites, I'm gonna do the Immigrant Song because it's one of the only ones that I knew. It definitely is overplayed. I didn't understand a dang single lyric that came out of Mr. Robert Plant's mouth, but okay. Another favorite was Celebration Day because I really enjoyed the way that captured the feeling of stepping out into New York City for the first time. And also the Gallows Pole was my other one. I really like those prison songs and songs about hangings. Ever since Ren and Stimpy did, some song about the Lord loves a hanging. That's why he gave us necks. I don't know if anybody out there is going to get that reference, but okay. What are your three?
So my three favorite songs are kind of interesting. At number 3, I would say Tangerine.
Okay.
I really like that song. I like the feeling it gives. I like the reminiscing or nostalgia or whatever that feeling is. It's funny that we both come up with that and we hadn't even talked about it, but it does give you that feeling. I like that song. My number 2 favorite song is That's the Way. You said it was kind of bland. I really enjoy it. I think it's mixed well. I like the fact that it doesn't have drums. I think it gives it a unique sound. And the one thing with Tangerine and That's the Way is I really enjoy Robert Plant's vocals in those. But my favorite song on this album is probably straight through and through Led Zeppelin, which is Since I've Been Loving You. It's a good, heavy blues rock and roll song, a good 7.5 minute jam. To me, that's very reminiscent of Led Zeppelin 1 and 2. In fact, I think they did record it earlier, and so I think it does stick out kind of like a sore thumb on this album in a way, because it's really the only blues song on this album
for sure
that's in that style, and I really enjoy that song, and that's right down my alley as far as Led Zeppelin's concerned. So do you want to rate the album?
Let's rate it.
Album rating.
Okay, if this is your first episode, I will explain. Well, hopefully this is your second episode, because it'd be really weird to just listen to the second half of the album. But I'm still going to explain our rating system. It's a 0 to 10, 10 being the best. I put this one smack dab in the middle at a 5. There's not enough that I love on this album to make me like this. This is smack dab in the middle. There's 2 or 3 songs on here that I liked or enjoyed, but none of them really grabbed me and hooked me the way that I would expect Led Zeppelin to, and maybe I'm just not a big Led Zeppelin fan. That's where I put it. Where do you put this one?
Well, I am a big Led Zeppelin fan, and this is my least favorite album of theirs. Okay. The 3 songs I listed, Since I've Been Loving You, Tangerine, and That's the Way, I would rate those 3 songs a solid 9.5. But as far as the album, I really don't care for any of the other songs, with the exception of maybe Gallows Pole. Everything else is just kind of mediocre, take it or leave it. And a few of the songs that I named as my least favorites, I skip. I don't even want to listen to them. So this album for me is Led Zeppelin's weakest album overall. Mm-hmm. I give it a 6.5.
Now I don't feel so bad. I thought you were going to hate me and
no, I mean, I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan. I certainly like Led Zeppelin 1, 2, and even 4 more. And even their later albums are better than this one. I think this is their weakest album. It's just my opinion. But those 3 songs I really enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, they gave us 30% of the album was, and we're not even the same 30%.
No, but so we could say half the album's good.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So that's Led Zeppelin 3. If you agree with us, disagree with us, have any comments, questions, or concerns, certainly send us an email at classicvinylpodcast@gmail.com. And like always, me and Tyler appreciate you listening. It means a lot to us. So until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya. Thank you so much for listening to Classic Vinyl Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcast or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Classic Vinyl Podcast for updates, and also share us with your music-loving friends.